The port workers' strike is over, but that may not be the end of it. We're going to talk about that and a lot more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
We're here.
Literally, I'm going to tell you guys in case you're not lip readers. Here's what I said to John. Did you get something sweet at the fair?
No, I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, and he goes, at the fair? And I said, yes. Happy Thursday. It is October the 10th. A little warm today.
Yeah.
The three of us just got back from the Arkansas State Fair. They have a little event called Media Preview Day every year, the day before the fair opens at lunch, where they invite sponsors and members of the media, which Farm Bureau kind of falls under both those umbrellas, out to enjoy some of the selections from the food court, I'll call it. And have lunch at the fair, on the fair. And we, as a PR team, have done that since I've been here.
It's my second year to pretend I'm a part of the media.
since we started doing this here version of the AgCast last year, Mr. McMinn has tagged along for that.
Yes, and I'm voluntold to be more and more active in this.
I was going to say, you don't get to come for free, do you?
Absolutely.
After today, I'm afraid of what next year is going to be because it keeps on getting more extreme.
You know, I like where you're headed with that. So, if you watched last year, John hosted Matthew, who's also a member of the podcast team.
Yeah.
Hosted Matthew blind taste testing.
And I really enjoyed that.
Food.
Yeah. I enjoyed being the host of that.
It was pretty fun.
Really
we went back and watched it the other day, I think.
Yeah, quite funny.
As should everybody.
But this year, Matthew turned the tables on John and said, you're not going to host this year. You're going to put a blindfold on and join me at the tasting table.
Yes, he did.
So you get double the reactions.
Yeah, and I'm worse for it. At least my stomach, yes.
Now, as best I recall,
I'm overheating a little bit. That's hard to say. It's hard to do in this room.
It is warm.
Yeah, I'm running hot.
You got the corn dog sweats.
The different types of ways you can make normal food sweats.
Yeah. Now, if I recall, I should have asked this before we came down, but we generally try and put that video out today. Mm-hmm. You think it'll go today or tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow.
We're aiming for today.
Aiming for today. Okay. All right. So you can go to our social media channels or our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If you don't do social media, and you can watch, or even our website, and you can watch that video. I will tell you, having been an onlooker.
Yeah. How was that view of it?
The content, as the kids say, was, I think it was good. I think it was.
Oh, it was great.
I will say, I don't know how it turned out on video, but there was a real struggle there towards the end on my part. It was tough.
So,
and you really underestimate how you are able to enjoy your food or just take it not physically in, but just have the experience without being able to see it.
They say you eat with your eyes.
Yeah, they clearly do.
So, tell
do.
Seriously, I'm interested in that. You bring up a point that I hadn't even thought about.
I mean, there was two things that I was just completely wrong about.
Yeah, I don't want you to tell what you tried.
Yeah. There was one thing that I touched. That I just touching it, I did not physically. I didn't even feel it in my stomach. Like,
Yeah.
And then, but also, like the thing I ate before that thing I touched probably contributed to a little bit of how I did want to eat the next thing.
Oh,
you know
understood.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Understood.
And like, there wasn't anything I wanted to take another bite of.
Well,
yeah.
Not that it was like a fear factor by any means, but
it wasn't. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, so Jason and I were the behind the camera handing the food.
Yes.
And we were back there helping. We had a great group of teammates picking a bunch of food and bringing them to us.
Yeah.
And then we would choose and
we got to
deliver.
select. Yeah.
And we got to one set item, and it only had one fork. And Jason looks at me and goes, "Do we need another fork?" I said, "Heck no."
He said, if we need one less fork,
Yeah.
they need to eat this with their hands.
No forks, baby.
It just, I don't know.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. So if you're watching or listening to the AgCast, you're going to get a little inside setup here. What it is we selected as a group. We sent John and Matthew away, and we kind of looked at the offerings of things, and we're like, okay, well, we need to pick some unique. We're not out there to eat, kettle corn. I mean, not for this video at least. We're out
that
there
would
to
have been
have
nice.
some.
I really would
some
appreciate
unique,
that.
Some unique
Looking back
offerings.
on it now.
So the group got together and we said, hey, let's do this, this, and this. And if you find anything more interesting along the way, bring 2 of those back. We needed 2 of everything.
Oh, there was one thing
And,
that was definitely interesting.
So I'll tell you, we audibled a couple times, I believe.
We did.
There was one thing that you didn't eat that at least didn't look great. It might have tasted fine, but yeah. Anyway, the video will be out today. Go look for it. I promise you, if you don't laugh, we'll give you a money back guarantee.
Yeah.
You'll give your money back on it.
You'll see me give Matthew some advice too.
Yeah,
that he didn't listen
you
to.
You two have a real chemistry on camera. I'll just have to tell you that.
Yes, quite entertaining.
That's interesting to hear since we couldn't see each other.
Well, it's odd that you bring that up because here's something that Brian and I noticed. And I don't know if this is just human nature or what. I mean, this is not a philosophy show, but you two continued to look at each other.
You did.
Even though you were completely blindfolded.
Anytime,
you'd be like, you take a bite and you say, Matthew, that tastes kind of sour. Matthew'd say, yes, John, it does. You just completely, if you didn't know that you had blindfold.
It was kind of like directional hearing or listening, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if I looked in his general direction where I believed he was, then maybe I could hear him a little bit better because that's the only sense I really could rely on.
Yeah.
My taste buds were just powered
tremendously. It looked as though
overstimulated, even blindfolded.
Exactly. It looked as though you were trying to sense each other's emotions.
That's a good.
In your disgust level or whatever, because you'd make a face and you'd look at each other.
Yeah.
Like what do you wonder think? What face he's making. You know what I mean? Like here's my favorite part of the whole thing. Well, this is only the second year we've done the blindfold thing, but my favorite part is this. The food's in front of you.
Yes.
They have to try and find it because we don't make it.
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
take their hands and put them on the food.
Fingers are going crazy.
Yeah. And so they inevitably end up sticking their hand in something. And think about that. Like you have no clue what you just touched.
I didn't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you. And then the inevitable face mess. Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally missed my mouth right there. Those are probably some of my favorite parts.
I can appreciate it with the beard. You took it like a champ.
That was what I was concerned with. Like, how was my?
Yeah.
It takes a while to look this good in the morning, So if I get it covered in mustard, I'm a little disappointed.
You also are like, I hope I don't get any of this on my shirt. And I'm thinking, it's not until this moment that I realize we have to come back and record the AgCast.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, Matthew, who's not on camera, had stuff all down the front.
And I will say that video is not scripted at all.
None.
So all of it's just fresh.
It's worth a watch. We've said that, but it's worth a watch. Next year, we'll get you aprons.
I don't know if I can watch it. It may make my stomach turn a little more.
I did not eat a single. That's not true. You guys I had one thing that y'all had, but other than that, I didn't have, and it was just a staple, a fair staple. Also,
gotcha.
I didn't have a single thing that y'all had.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Partially because I didn't eat until after I saw you guys do the video. Did you? You were talking about being a little jazzed up.
Oh, yeah.
You said there was a coffee.
I'm not a little jazzed up. I'm a lot jazzed up. I am zinging.
Yeah.
I'm zinging. We've been recording for an hour already? Because I feel it, man. This is boom, boom, boom.
But you got a coffee drink.
I did.
How was that?
I stood in the line with, there were no other men present. I'll admit.
Yeah.
And the lady behind the counter looked at me like, "Oh, why are you here?"
You're the first man I've seen all that.
I guess I'll try one.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh." It was an iced coffee drink, like chocolate
Quadruple
caramel
shot. Espresso.
brownie
Ooh,
In it?
in it.
Oh, my.
I'm singing.
That explains
It's
a lot.
like, yeah. I took one drink and was like, man, this has got a lot of coffee in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait till that sugar wears down, but the caffeine still
Yeah.
hitting and your body doesn't know what
We
to
might
do.
have to drive him home.
It's the sugar. It
Yeah.
didn't have as much coffee as it had sugar, but I am
Yeah. Yeah.
zooming. So
All right. Well, go watch that video. It'll be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Please do.
Let me see. What else? You brought up something last week that I thought we'd make note of again.
Resolutions?
Yeah.
Yeah, resolutions due on the 11th, which is
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
indeed.
We've been working on kind of organizing those as they come in today. We'll continue that tomorrow. I think a few more counties are still out there, but that's kind of about wrapped up. But if you have not submitted your resolutions as a county yet, please do so by the end of the day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that'll be coming up November 6th and 7th in Hot Springs.
That's correct.
The resolutions, actual resolutions.
Yeah, and that'll be at
meeting.
the convention center, right?
Yep.
One other, while we're talking dates and getting,
Hot Springs Convention Center.
That's correct.
there you go. While we're talking about cold weather meetings, we have not talked about yet annual convention.
Speaking of hot springs.
Speaking of Hot Springs, but so we just thought we'd throw the date out there. I know registration information's been going around, hotel information's been going around this week. It's really starting to get real. We had a big team meeting this week.
Yeah.
December 4th through the 6th in Hot Springs. Please make time to join us. Of course, we'll have, our general sessions with keynote speakers and all that stuff that we normally have.
Workshops.
We'll have workshops. We'll have, of course, social functions along the way.
Correct.
And more to come on that. I
Get
think
the
there's a
farmers
foundation event. Yeah, the farmers market.
Yep. We'll have 40 vendors there this year. Last year we had 30 sign up. I think we only ended up with like 25 actually there. So
And that felt like a lot. So 40 is really good.
Yeah, we'll have pretty much a quarter of the whole convention or trade show area. Maybe not quite a quarter, but it'll be quite a bit bigger and bigger selection, variety of things. We had a meeting with all the winners of the day, and they were super excited.
Yeah.
I think about half of them or less were also from last year. And they kind of talked about how much they enjoyed the event and how great all of the attendees were and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're excited. We're excited. What else is going to happen at
It's
convention?
the largest ever trade show, too.
Largest ever
Yeah.
trade show.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have
Oh.
the entire trade show.
Yeah.
We will,
Don't talk about the top secret.
No,
thing.
I'm not.
Okay.
Our workshops, we usually have 8 to 10 workshops there in classrooms. This year we'll have 2 workshops, I think 2, one for sure in the trade show.
Oh, interesting.
And one of them will be very interactive. So I'm not going to spill the rest of the
I
beans
like
on it.
that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Some people were really wanting some, if you weren't going to a workshop or a different meeting or something else during convention, they wanted something else to do within the trade
in
show.
the trade show.
So we answered that call this year.
Nice.
Nice.
We'll be there. We're gonna broadcast. Goodness gracious, we're gonna record at 11 on Wednesday, the 4th, I believe.
Yeah.
From the stage in the trade show.
Okay.
Of course, discussion meet will be going on down there. Goodness, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I'll try
gonna
to
be a
make
busy
that if I
few days.
can.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. Make this show go a little bit better.
Me too, to be fair. So
Yeah.
And then,
We have an ag mechanics show too.
Ag Mechanic
do.
Show.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. That last year was the first year for the Ag Mechanic Show. Boy, I'll just say this: if you're in the market for a Christmas gift, between
yeah.
the farmers market and then, of course, some of the more high end Christmas
Yeah.
gifts, but the Ag Mechanic Show, you're
You
in
can come
luck.
and get anything as small as candied pecans or a double axle car trailer.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Or deer stand. Or
Yeah,
fire
deer
pit,
stand.
you know.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that Ag Mechanic Show. Matter of fact, they're going to be at the State Fair.
Yes.
And we're going to have one of their featured projects on THV The Vine on Tuesday. So I'm excited to have them back at state convention. That and the farmers market was just, I mean, such a bright spot in the whole event.
Yeah. Maybe the news will come and interview me again.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I bet I know somebody who can make that happen. Also, I skipped over the state fair. I think, does that cover some convention?
I think so, yeah.
We talked about the food. Mistakenly, we didn't talk about any of the other information. So the state fair is going on the 11th through the 20th of October. So starting tomorrow, Friday, and then it'll run through 2 Sundays from there. And so go get out there. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to experience agriculture in Arkansas. We just found out today that the restaurant that's serving in the I don't know the name of that building. Do you?
I do not.
Okay. It's the permanent building right over kind of behind the food court is a farm to table restaurant. And y'all had some of their food
They
today.
were barbecue.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember their name.
Oh,
They had a slider, or a smash burger too.
They had a
didn't
smash
they?
burger.
Yeah, the smash
and
burger looked good. I didn't try it.
Ribs. I had the ribs.
Ribs were good.
Good.
Red greens.
Ribs were phenomenal. Collard greens.
Yeah. So, there's just a lot of opportunity. We'll be out there Tuesday with THB The Vine. That show airs at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. If you want to tune into that, you can see it's all Arkansas Farm Bureau for the entire hour of the show. So we'll be talking about some of the ways that you can engage with agriculture while you're at the state fair.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, we'll be out there recording the Arkansas AgCast, and we're going to do that a little bit differently this year.
Yeah. I think y'all will really like that. There'll be some, let's call them barnyard sounds in the background.
All right, how about that?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that a little bit different in a lot of ways this year, the AgCast. So next week's AgCast will be definitely one you want to catch.
Yes.
So yeah, get out to the state fair. All right, let's get this show on the road.
One last thing.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Who did Arkansas Razorbacks beat over?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Number 4
Tennessee.
team in the nation.
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. First time they've beaten a top 5 team in Fayetteville, I think. Since
really?
98.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
been a
it was
very
Tennessee
long time.
then too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
think
One thing
so.
I did take away, and I'll stop here, is that rewatched like the beginning of the game, and the announcer was like, "These two teams don't meet very often, but when they do, weird things happen."
Right.
And I
Really?
will say that is exactly what.
Yeah.
Even if we would have lost that game, it still would have been just.
Was the Miracle on Markham? That was
No, that was in
No.
Little Rock.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, but
against
that
LSU.
wasn't Tennessee, was it?
No, that was
was
LSU.
LSU. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This past weekend was a great weekend for football. It was just crazy.
6
Really
of the
good.
top 11 teams, I went and counted, lost.
Yeah.
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 6
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the top 11.
I heard somebody on a different radio station the other morning say, "I'm so glad my team was on bye.
No
I'm
doubt.
glad we weren't playing
I mean,
last week."
Vanderbilt and Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, alone that
Yeah,
right there
right.
could have taken the headline.
Right.
Hey,
you
give
know?
credit. Vanderbilt is noticeably a better team, even minus take away that Alabama game. They're a better team this year than they've probably ever been.
Oh, entirely.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Texas A&M beat Missouri. I mean, you could go on and on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, you get the point. All right. Well, let's talk about some agriculture here. Real quick, crop progress and quality. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this week, but corn harvest progress, 98% done on corn harvest, 3% jump over last week, starting to slow down a little bit there. The 5-year is 94% this week. Last year was 95%, so we're pretty much on pace and caught up. With rice, 92% of the state's crop has been harvested. 5 years, 80% there, so we're still well ahead of that. And last year, this time last year, we were at 87% done. Soybean quality, first week we've had no report on quality, which means we're getting close or getting down the road on harvest. So 90% of the crop is coloring with 87% dropping leaves. 59% of the soybean crop has been harvested. That's a 12% jump over last week. If I'm not mistaken, I'm working on memory here. That's 12% 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
So
I was going to guess
24%.
it was right at 50, but
Yeah,
was a little
so
short.
we're close to 60%. The 5-year average on soybean harvest progress is 41%. Last year at this time we're at 56%. Cotton quality 68% good to excellent. That's good to see. That's a big increase over last week. Last week we had taken a dip in quality a little bit.
Yeah.
98% of the bowls are opening with 34% harvested. Another big jump from last week. So 34% of the crop, cotton crop, harvested, and that will sort of be bringing up the rear there on harvest. That's not fair. Peanuts. So peanut quality is at 64%, good to excellent. Another drop since last week. Peanut harvest is 21% with another 58% Doug.
And shout out to Heath.
Yeah. Do you want to? That's what I was just about to try and pull up. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to?
While you're busy with that,
Yeah.
Just last week we had called out Heath Donner up there in Mississippi County, right? Kind of explained to us why was this dip in quality in peanuts. I think what he was trying to say, Heath, you're listening, I know you are.
Yeah.
You texted us and said that the reason maybe is that people are judging the actual growth of the plant instead of the actual peanuts in the ground.
Because you can't see them.
Because you can't see them. I think there were some other weather concerns too throughout the growing season.
He says, and I quote, "The 10+ inches of rain in September didn't help the crop at all."
Yeah.
So there you go. Isn't it good to have a peanut analyst?
Yeah.
Just
we
on
have a peanut expert on retainer.
On the call. I mean, look, just all we have to do is ask a question about peanuts and we get it the next time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. We're very blessed.
Yeah. So peanut harvest is 21% done with 58% Doug. I happen to know that we are filming Filthy Farm Jobs on peanut harvesting for this upcoming season. Cool. And I'm super excited to see that. Not only because of who's doing it, but because seeing the process is so unique.
Yeah, it is.
So I might have to try and make my way onto that shoot. Sweet potato harvest. This is interesting. This is the first time I've seen USDA report on this for Arkansas, at least. So starting with quality, 81% of the crop is in good condition. 59% of the crop has been harvested, and 12%. That's a 12% jump over last week. What's fascinating, we don't have historic data on what our progress was this time last year or what the 5-year average for this week is. So we'll just give you that. But
81% sounds good to me.
Yeah, and 59% of the crop being harvested. So a lot of those sweet potatoes in the state are concentrated between really 2 farms or 2 areas.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Marvel area, Mariana area.
Well, for sure, Cross County.
Yep.
And then I think White County's got some more. But anyway.
That's another interesting harvest to see, too.
I have seen it from afar, but never up close. And we did do a Filthy Farm job on harvesting sweet potatoes last season. Yeah. So go watch that. All right, rounding out with winter wheat planting, a planting progress report here. 18% of that crop is in the ground. 4% last week. 12% is the 5-year average for planting winter wheat. So we're a little ahead of the mark there, which is to be expected. 2% of the crops emerge, which is about on pace with the 5-year.
Cool.
So that's your crop quality and harvest progress report.
Well, it's time for the news.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I'll start us off. This year has been a financially stressful time for farmers and ranchers, to say the least, and USDA's Farm Service Agency, or FSA, has taken notice. On Monday, USDA announced that they will be providing another $250 million in inflation reduction funding to distressed farm loan borrowers. This is in addition to the $2.2 billion it has already provided. According to the release, the money will be used to make automatic payments covering any outstanding delinquencies for roughly 4,650 distressed direct and guaranteed farm loan borrowers. About 96% of those borrowers did not receive prior Inflation Reduction Act assistance, while the rest were shared appreciation agreements. FSA Administrator Zach, I never can pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a stab at it?
No. We'll just...
It almost seems French or Cajun. We'll leave it at that. Zach, I apologize. I'm not going to butcher your last name. Yeah, Ducheneau. He was quoted saying the payments announced today help to ensure that more than 4,600 producers across the country will see another production season. According to the FSA, aid for distressed and guaranteed borrowers who are currently in bankruptcy will be subject to a case-by-case review process. And then also there was an economic impact analysis, which I'm assuming was conducted by the USDA, found that the previously distributed Inflation Reduction Act funds would support around 49,000 jobs, increase household income by $2.47 billion, contribute $3.5 billion to the U.S. gross domestic product, and increase gross revenues from total farm sales of final goods and services by $5.6 billion. So if you're in that group of people in that financial stress situation, please reach out to your FSA office because they may be able to help out with that.
All right. That's a good one. Well, we mentioned it at the top of the show and just kind of, we reported last week on the port worker strike and the potential impacts to agriculture. No sooner than I finished eating dinner, I don't think, did the strike get suspended while the negotiations carried on. Let's take a quick look at the outcome of that situation. So Reuters has a great roundup on the impacts of the short-lived strike, and yes, there were some impacts even though ports were back open after only 4 days of being down. To recap quickly, the International Longshoremen's Association launched the strike by 45,000 port workers, which was their first major work stoppage since 1977.
Wow.
On Tuesday, so it was fewer days than I thought. And that affected 36 ports from Maine to Texas. J.P. Morgan analysts estimated the strike would cost the U.S. economy around $5 billion per day. Sources said they had agreed to a wage hike of around 62% over 6 years, raising average wages by about $63 an hour from $39 an hour.
Wow.
Reuters spoke with Ryan Sweet, U.S. economist from Oxford Economics, who said the port, and I quote, "The port strike ended fairly quickly, removing any significant downside risk to the economy this quarter." Speaking from an import perspective, at least 54 container ships had lined up outside the ports as the strike prevented unloading, according to Everstream Analytics, threatening shortages of anything from bananas to auto parts. Only 6 of those ports, I went and counted, were in the Gulf. 3 of those were at the Port of Mobile, and the other 3 were at the Port of Houston. Now, bill of lading figures from Import Yeti, a data firm, show that importers reliant on the affected ports included IKEA, Walmart, and Goodyear Tire and Rubber. East Coast ports are also destinations for coffee, whose price has risen because of the disruptions.
Yeah.
Reuters noted that many retailers had stocked early for the upcoming holiday shopping season, and that a short strike would likely not have much impact on them, which is what we saw play out. Reuters wrapped up by saying that with the tentative deal on wages while the tentative deal on wages ended the strike, it only extends the current contract to January 15th. The two sides will continue to talk about other issues, such as the port's use of automation that workers say will lead to job losses. So while the wages piece is sorted out for now, it sounds like there may be more to talk about between the two parties.
Yeah, I'm glad that got figured out pretty quickly. I mean, I think that was just about the same timeline as the rail strike was.
Yeah, I thought it was Monday to Thursday, and turns out it was Tuesday to Thursday. Yeah. So actually,
but remember who reported on it first here, and that is your boy.
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah.
I had to ask your permission to report on that because I was like, I know you did this last week, but do you care if I?
I don't care at all, but I did want people to remember who's number one in their heart.
Before it gets too deep in here, let's take a quick break.
We face a critical shortage of skilled workers like welders, plumbers, and mechanics. Our rural communities, especially farmers and ranchers, feel the impact. Join Arkansas Farm Bureau and vote yes on Issue 1, supporting scholarships for vocational education and providing the training needed for good-paying jobs. Farm Bureau members support Issue 1 because we believe in strengthening our state's workforce and our rural way of life. Vote yes on Issue 1, paid for by Arkansas Farm Bureau for rural jobs.
All right, I got one more story.
Okay.
So, in an effort to promote fair and competitive markets, USDA announced several actions they will begin implementing. Their actions will include new rulemaking steps under the Packers and Stockyards Act and increased access to seed germplasm. Interesting.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. Regarding increased research access to seed germplasm, which is used by plant breeders to create new resilient varieties, the agency sent a letter to U.S. Patent and Trademark Office seeking clarity on disclosure requirements for utility patents on seed. According to USDA, this action will help researchers better understand the scope of patent rights and conduct necessary studies. In addition, the agency released guidance on using germplasm developed by federal funding and, I quote, observational uses of protected germplasm in the context of patent law, end quote. In their press release, USDA said, again, I quote, the ability to observe and understand patented inventions is necessary for federal scientists to pursue critical research and to innovate without fear of infringement. So that one was particularly just about patents, is what I gathered.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for a little bit more there because we do need more resources towards research in this country.
Yeah.
But lastly, or maybe not lastly, but next thing, the agency also published an interim report that examines access to retail processors and producers through the lens of beef markets. The Agricultural Marketing Service, who conducted the report, found increasing market concentration nationally and regionally among the top 4 packers, distributors, and retailers. The study also found onerous requirements and fees that dominant firms may now impose in pricing practices that block access to markets for smaller producers and processors. In the announcement, which was held at a Farmers and Ranchers in Action event in Washington, D.C., Secretary Vilsack said USDA has not fully enforced its fair and competitive practice laws over the last 3 years. I found that odd.
That is.
Continuing, which has led to market consolidation and the closure of independent retail processing and production operations. Findings from the report may push additional investigation with the intention of publishing an advance notice for proposed rulemaking on potential steps to open up these markets. Lastly, USDA issued an advance notice of proposed rulemaking under the Packers and Stockyards Act, seeking comments on possible interventions to set new benchmarks for alternative marketing agreement base prices. And quoting Secretary Vilsack here to end this, wrap this up, ultimately, this suite of initiatives are really about promoting choice, about lowering costs for farmers, about a food system that's more resilient, and ultimately lowering cost for consumers.
There you go.
Yeah, so I like the last part because that's been kind of a concern, especially with our ranchers and our membership here at Farm Bureau. What they do with that information is yet to be seen. I think this was more of just kind of a transparency announcement.
Yeah, but seems to be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some exciting news for this year's annual convention, which we talked about earlier. And this, like I said, this is our first day to really talk about it. I
Farmers
realize.
market?
No, not the farmers market. Okay, look, you'll get plenty of time. Can you believe? What?
No, go continue. I just can't believe you didn't want to talk about the farmers market.
Oh, I do. That's all I want to talk about.
It's all about you, John.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. I'm going to try and carry on with this, if that's okay.
Please proceed.
Arkansas Farm Bureau's 2024 Ag Innovation Challenge, a competition for state startup businesses developing innovative solutions for farmers, ranchers, and rural communities, will accept applications now through November 8th. Farm Bureau partners with the Farm Credit Associations of Arkansas to sponsor this annual statewide contest. Challenge applicants must represent a for-profit business and submit a business plan, business pitch, product images, and other assets for review. Judges will review all applications and select 5 semifinalists to present December 5th at the Arkansas Farm Bureau annual meeting, with a winner and a runner-up announced at the meeting in Hot Springs. Now, if you've read Front Porch Magazine this year, you know that Anvil Metals and Fabrication of Baxter County won the inaugural contest in 2023. The AMF team patented a tractor bucket attachment with folding forks, hay spikes, brush guards, and other tools. Yeah,
I remember that.
To use on farms and in rural areas. AMF was founded in 2022 by Rob Connor, Cody Marcus, and Damian Schilling after Connor and his wife purchased a welding shop in Gassville. Rob Connor volunteers as the Career Technical Education Coordinator for Mountain Home Public Schools, and his 2 co-founders are former students turned business partners. That is seriously one of the coolest stories. We've got a video on it, and you can find it in the front porch.
It's a pretty cool tool, too.
Oh, it's fascinating to see. Cash prizes totaling $15,000 will be awarded, with the winner receiving $7,500 and the runner-up earning $5,000. There will also be a People's Choice Award winner to be awarded $2,500. Entrepreneurs entering the contest must be 18 and a member of Arkansas Farm Bureau, which you can do at arfb.com. And if you have any questions, certainly reach out to our colleague, Will Hopkins. We can help you get in touch with him if you don't know where to find him.
Yeah. Shout out to Will. He
shout
hadn't
out
been
to
here
Will.
all that long, and this is kind of a big endeavor, put all this
buddy,
together.
it
is.
And, yeah. You're doing a good job, buddy.
Good job. Good job, Will. Yeah, so there you go. I think that's I love this thing, man. But we watch Shark Tank in my house.
Yeah.
Like I like that startup innovator kind of world, and this is always fun to see.
You going to submit a project?
I'm not. I haven't invented anything.
Yeah, I don't have any ideas.
I'll help you.
No, if I do it, I do it by myself.
Okay. Yeah.
All the glory, man. All the glory.
I don't
Got
want
to
to
be.
share the money with anybody.
Yeah, come on. Oh, my
That's
Now,
great.
if I was to do something like that and decide to
It's a
share
rowdy show.
a project with somebody, you would be, in consideration.
Not at the top.
In
there.
consideration.
In there, yeah.
In consideration.
Yeah. All right.
That's
hope-
second to his boy, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be at the top.
All right. We done now?
We are.
We ready for...
We are.
We are now.
I got to tell you, it feels a little inappropriate to play that today. It just doesn't... I don't feel sluggish or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like really it needs to be more like this, like super high. Like,
Oh, yeah. That feels like more of the
The
vibe
zap of
you've
the
got
coffee.
going on.
exactly. Exactly. But anyway.
That's pretty funny.
Okay. So what we have, entertainment, general, science.
It's on me. We did a whole show of history last week.
Which we
right?
will not repeat this
No,
week. I want to be very clear about that.
We had general science and what else?
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Let's go with entertainment. I'll throw
Before he says
Jason
something,
Brown a softball.
I just want to know that you were reading that story a second ago.
Which
and
one?
I was engaged. The story about USDA. But then I saw him pushing around on that iPad over there.
Him or me?
And my palms started getting sweaty. Because I'm like, I know what he's doing. He's getting the trivia ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's kind of making me feel kind of anxious just
Yeah.
seeing him over there
mine
getting
are
it
I
pulled.
swell
feel like
from
some
the
of
fear
these are
food.
fairly easy today, but
Okay. So entertainment.
you said entertainment. All right. I actually have 3 of them on here, so I'll just pick one. In the TV show The Simpsons, what store is Quickie Mart's main competitor?
I don't know. I can see it, but I don't know the name of it.
I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Even still today?
I didn't really
Yeah. So
watch
when
it.
I became an adult, I was just like, I know this isn't good for me, so I'm not going to do it.
That show has been on a long time.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
isn't it
over
like the
20 years.
longest
It's the
running?
longest running, yeah. So,
That or Cops?
it's finally ending, but
Yeah.
It's ending.
it is ending.
I like to see like the little things they put on social media about how the Simpsons have
predict
predicted
the
the
future.
future.
Right.
That's exactly
Right.
what I was
It's
just
creepy,
thinking about.
man.
It is.
Yeah.
It
But
is.
yeah, I don't know the answer.
So no guesses? Gulp and blow.
All right.
Nope.
I wouldn't have gotten, would not
Okay.
have gotten that.
All right,
All
we
right.
have more entertainment. We have general. We have science. I can refresh if you don't like those choices.
Let's go with entertainment also.
Entertainment it is. Who is Scarlett's first husband who died in the Civil War in Gone with the Wind?
I've never. Well, I probably shouldn't say that, but I've never watched that movie.
Yeah.
If
I've
my
always
wife
seen
was here,
bits and
she would be able to answer that immediately. I'm sure.
I bet his name is John Smith.
B or David.
No, neither.
Neither.
William. Yeah, that's another good
It's gotta
one.
be William.
Bill.
Nope.
All right.
Buffalo Bob.
What was
We're
it?
just going to keep guessing.
No,
then.
we're done guessing.
Buffalo Bob.
Charles Hamilton.
Charles Hamilton.
Charles Hamilton.
Okay.
So, we going for more entertainment or are we going
Clear the board.
general? Clear the board.
Clear the
Okay, I'm going to clear the
While
board.
you're clearing the board, did you know that the opening scene of Gone with the Wind was filmed in North Florida?
I think
It
I
was.
knew something
Indeed.
about that.
Yeah, the old mill.
The
At
old
the
mill.
old mill.
That's what it is.
True.
Never
So-
been there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You need to go. It's nice.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice.
I get that a lot when I say
And
that.
Tone. And I'm just telling you, there's steps, there's bridges, Tone could really burn some energy out
Hey,
over
he
at the
needs
old
to.
mill.
So
Tony Baloney needs
is
to
it
burn all
usually
the
followed by, "Oh, you should go, you loser"?
energy. No,
Yeah.
first it's like,
Yeah.
you haven't? Well, yeah. Okay. Well, you should.
You've been
because-
under a rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you live in Little Rock.
General, geography, entertainment, history.
Man, let's lay it on with geography.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Is it a body of water?
Okay.
Is it a country or continent?
Lopez Island, Orcas Island, and Waldron Island all belong to what archipelago? I can't even say that word. Archipelago. Too much coffee.
I've seen
Orca
that
Island sounds familiar.
History Channel, I think.
I'm not even really sure what the term means. So I can't accurately.
Archipelago.
I'll give you a clue, a hint.
Okay.
They're islands.
Okay. Man, what would I do without that hint? Like the first hint he's really given us. So
I'm so sorry.
Just, I saw your eyes waiting with anticipation, like, oh, he's giving us a nugget here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Greece.
No.
I don't know. I mean, the Baja Peninsula.
Interesting.
San Juan Islands.
San Juan Islands.
Hey.
I did not know that.
Not bad.
So,
All right.
0 for 3.
I think
goose
that's-
egg.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
it's
the
the
wrap
fair
us
food.
up. It is. The fair food's really
is.
impacted my brain.
Yeah, I got other things I need to do today. So.
There you have it.
Oh my goodness! Well, that was pretty fun. Thanks for putting up with all the silliness. That wraps up the news for this week. Thank you again for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Yes, remember you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
And make sure to subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown,
And I'm John McMinn.
and we'll see you next week.